took this info product to $51,200 revenue in 11 days. And this wasn't one of those pre-launches where we hype it up for a month or something like that. Like from the time we received payment and contract signed, 11 days later, we hit $51,000. And in this video, I'm going to show you how we got the leads, how we positioned him uniquely, our offer that was so good they felt stupid saying no, our process for turning these views into actual cash, as well as our onboarding process that got real student results, and how we're going to hit 100K a month this October. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Preston Chambers. We've done over 7 figures for our info products, just handling the marketing, sales, and operations for coaches and creators. But the first step in all of this is actually getting eyeballs. If we don't have leads in the funnel, nobody can make money. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're actually posting content, getting quality people to buy your stuff. And that's exactly like what Brez Scales has mastered as well, because with Brez Scales, anybody could help him out, make a couple $100,000 a month. It takes obviously somebody that's good to take him to $1 million months. But at the same time, if somebody's getting no lead flow, the audience doesn't fuck with them, they're never going to make money. So it's the most important thing is the traffic, along with market research as well, which we'll get into. But honestly, this is way more important. So there's 2 types that we typically work with. It's Instagram and YouTube. And TikTok just seems to be brain dead. It's just brain rot a lot of the times. Not saying it can't work. We've seen it work, but typically it's pretty brain rot. But Instagram, we're not going to cover that today because he doesn't really have a real Instagram presence. We're mainly on YouTube. And for me personally, I love working with YouTube clients just because it's the best. It's the best platform for nurturing leads and getting them to want to buy from you. And you just have to look at it like this. Which of these prospects is most likely to buy? Prospect A, B, or C? Obviously, it's going to be C if they're consuming more content of you, which is why long form funnels absolutely cook. Because the more content that someone consumes of you, the higher likelihood that they are to buy. Just follows the 7-11-4 rule. And really, the main thing I'm going to talk about here is the 7-hour rule. After 7 hours of content, somebody is going to be willing to pay you thousands of dollars for a coaching program. And for our content specifically, it was mainly YouTube and mostly education. He was doing something similar to TJR's bootcamp, but for our specific niche, showing his social proof, showing our student results, and just giving a ton of free sauce, because what ended up happening was people were getting, results from our free content, our free community, and they're like, okay, cool, I want to pay this guy now because of how much value I've gotten. And it just cooks. And it's really just the Alex Hormozi method, where you give away all the sauce for free online and you sell the implementation. That's what I do. And that's what the best people do, like TJR, etc. Because whenever you do that, it's going to induce a lot of psychological principles. First of all, it's going to hit reciprocity, because if someone gives something to us, we want to give back. It's hardwired in. Like imagine whenever your little brother gave you something, you want to give something back to him. Also, if someone gives you a lot of stuff for free, you're going to end up liking them. And we tend to say yes to people that we actually like. From there, we had social proof because we talked about our student results and our own results. So they're like, okay, people are joining his mentorship, it must be good. And he actually knows what he's talking about. It made him an authority in the space because they saw him as an expert. They're watching his free sauce and getting results from it, from his free info. So he has to be somewhat of an expert if he's just making YouTube videos and people are getting results from it. You could also say scarcity because our mentorship has limited spots because it's actually one-on-one. And potentially commitment, that would be a little bit of a stretch though. So we're inducing 5 psychological principles inside of our content of the 6 that are universal across every single industry. Shout out to Robert Cialdini, but you get the point, right? So we're just hypnotizing them, because at the end of the day, I'm just a psychologist, really. I love psychology. Got my book, my Dr. David Buss book right here. Right? So you really have to understand the human brain and make them want to buy. And once they're inside the Discord, they're seeing all the wins, right? They're chatting with him daily, and they're just getting to like this guy and want to buy from him. So it all comes down to the content. But YouTube is really good for nurturing. Instagram is more top of funnel. I post both personally because I think that just using both is good. But you have to know what you're doing with content, because if you don't, you're cooked. So, and even right here, we helped him out with content too. He was doing this mostly by himself, but we gave him some pointers here or there to start talking more about his results. And you'll see in a little bit, but it tripled the business instantly. So real quick, if you are a creator, coach, or have some sort of make money online skill like trading, dropshipping, etc., and you want to start selling info products, first link in the description, you can book a call with me personally. We can see how we can help you. But without further ado, right, the market research. So after we have the content, we need to understand who we're selling to. If we don't know who we're selling to and what the market looks like, you're never going to do anything. Because if I made this video, but all my viewers are middle schoolers, I'd get no views, no likes, but I know who my audience is. It's people that, are trying to make more money. People that already make money online or are interested in making money online. They're the only types of people watching this video. And that's exactly what I want. So there's two ways to do market research on the ICP, and then I'll explain the market. But the best way, and the way I love the most, is sales calls. So it's basically just taking your 3 to 5 best sales calls, analyzing them, leveraging AI, because sales calls, they talk about their pains, their desires, what they're trying to achieve, all of their problems, what they actually want, their objections even. So sales calls are just the best way to do it. The best way to get the ICP is sales calls. So I like using Fathom Note Taker. It's very easy to use. This is what I use, and we constantly update our ICP as well. And it just takes time because you usually need stuff prior, which in this case we didn't have because we bootstrapped it 11 days in, not pre-launch, not, oh, we launched it and then 11 days later. No, this was like from the time we onboarded the client, 11 days later, $51,000, right? So it's the best method. But what we went ahead and did is we just had a call with the offer owner, right? We had lots of applications that we implemented, and we just talked to him, 30, 40-minute call, just talked about his audience. Okay, who are they? What do they struggle with? What did you struggle with when you first started? Because typically the people that we work with, you're going to know at least a little bit about your audience and like their pains, their beliefs, etc. That's very important in the marketing. And we did that here. We had about 9 pages. And like I said, it's just faceless content. They just want to make money online. And we really got to understand the audience. And that helped us in the funnel section, which I'm about to show you over here about how we tripled the applications. But yeah, if you don't know who you're selling to, it's cooked. So we can, now that we understand this, we can make content around it, optimize the funnels for it, make assets, etc. So you want to make sure you understand the audience on a deep level. It's just marketing 101. Then from there, right, we need to understand what's going on in the market that he's actually in. So this was us before, and this is what a lot of people do, right? They'll just look at the market, they'll randomly say some stuff, and they'll end up going in one of these 3 squares. But the problem is, any market you go to is going to be saturated. So you have to figure out how you're going to stand out, because if you're just like everyone else, you're going to end up being right here, or you're going to take right here, or you might even take right here. And look at how much of the pie you have. You have no piece of the pie, right? But what we do is we analyze the market, right? We looked over several, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different competitors to understand, okay, what's going on in the market, who's their audience, how are they selling their mechanism, so we can make ourselves a blue ocean. And then we come in here and right off the bat, right? This was within 11 days of signing contract. We take over the market, right? Because boom. We take over a good share of the market, and by the time Q4 hits, it'll be more like this, and then this, and then we just take over everything. So, but a lot of people, they don't know their ICP, and they don't know the market that they reside in. They don't know how everyone else is selling the offer, if they're framing it this way or that way, and you can't differentiate yourself from others. So when people come to you and they say, well, how are you different from your competitors? You have nothing to say, and you sit there with, thumb up your ass, and you're like, oh, I don't know. Okay. You have to understand the market. And that's what we did. We just researched. I'll just give you the sauce right now. We had their target market, their funnels, their unique selling mechanism, their content strategy, their offer. So we can just make everything better, because quality wins. Quality always wins. Quality content, quality product, quality is king. Which brings us into our offer that was so good, people felt stupid saying no. Shout out to Alex Hormozi for this. I have 3 of his books in the back. I need to read Money Models still. But, right, this is exactly how you create an offer. I'm just going to give out all the sauce. I have my 5-step formula. So first of all, it's just knowing the market, and it's really just comes down to the ICP. So this is why we actually do the market research, so we can build a good offer for them. Because right here, we know the audience, we know their dream outcomes, and we know their problems. So first of all, you need to identify your market, which is done in the market research. For us, it's typical kind of B2C, sometimes some business owners as well, that just want to make more money with faceless content. Okay. So after we do that, we have a specific measurable outcome, which is, making more money and getting more views. Then we need to list out every single problem that they're going to have, every single one. So for this, it was like niche selection, getting views, breaking the retention graph, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to go into full details because I don't fully want to leak the client, because whenever I do that, we just get a lot of funnel hackers. Pretty annoying for the metrics and the tracking and everything. But you want to list out every single problem that they have. For a fitness offer, well, it's going to be dieting, it's going to be getting in steps, it's going to be calorie deficit, it's going to be weightlifting, it's going to be knowing what to eat, where to go to get it, just all the different problems. Literally every single problem needs to be listed out. So after you do that, you just create them into solutions, because if your offer handles every single little problem that they're going to have, it's a no-brainer. Like for me, I've spent thousands of dollars, over $30,000 on mentorships, and every single time it's because I believed that they would help me deal with all the problems that I had, whether it was getting clients, fulfilling on those clients, etc. So it's like, if you know every single problem that they have and you can handle that in your offer, it's wraps. Then you just want to package it up, make it really sexy. So this was the main offer that we sold. It's a one-on-one mentorship, helping them master the skill of going viral. $5,000 for 6 weeks. And it's basically just one-on-one access, and we have a guarantee in place as well. This was the main offer that we ripped, and it's just been ripping for us. We're also going to incorporate a second offer. But essentially the way it works is he runs 36 different channels over various different niches, and he's been in every single position that they've been in, meaning that he's handled every single problem that they have and are going to have. So it's very easy for us to sell this offer to them because they just know that this guy's going to help us out. And that's kind of what happens when you create a no-brainer offer. Like I said, this video is probably not going to be too long. It's going to be short, straight to the point. I like to keep everything whenever I'm scaling very simple. I'm a simple guy, okay? So yeah, but that's how you create an offer. You can just add some bonuses, add in guarantees, like we added in the guarantee here. So it just makes it a no-brainer for them, no risk. So next up was the funnel. This was a huge lever for us, right? But the whole goal of it is just to get them to trust you and want to buy from you. And after implementing the new funnel, we 3.5x the applications, right? Because we had like a simple 1-minute VSL. So we 3.5x the applications, and we start making way more money. Right. And that's just because the old funnel that he had set up, right? The old funnel he had set up was just for a hot audience that would like basically pay off of a link. So what we did was, well, the current funnel, we set it up for a warm audience. So people that know him, don't fully trust him, but still optimized and ready to make them pay. And then the new funnel that we're implementing here soon, it's going to be a free course funnel, which I can break that down in another video, and probably as a case study whenever we do hit 100K a month, is going to be for a cold audience. But we have to understand where the audience is in terms of temperature, in terms of trust. Because if they're hot, they're warm, they're cold, it's going to be a different type of funnel, right? So for the hot and warm people, we're using the straight VSL funnel, which I'm about to break down. For the cold people, we'll be incorporating that free course funnel. It just works really well at making people trust you. But essentially the funnel flow was this. So it's from YouTube to, VSL, and I covered them out. I'm not going to expose who we're working with, but the way we were kind of selling it was just a bit different. We had a unique mechanism from there into application, and then we would just dial them up, right? So it's very simple process, very simple funnel. Like I said, whenever you have the YouTube and you understand your audience, it's very simple to plug into the funnel and get people to want to pay you a lot of cash. Like I said, this is without a launch. We didn't launch at all. It's not like this big launch where we make 100K and then we drop down to like 10. Like, no, this is evergreen, and we're constantly scaling this up right now. Yeah, but the current funnel, right? And these leads are coming in. These leads are coming in hot, like very hot. Look at this guy. Hey, is this Joshua? This is blank. I'm not saying the name. Hey, blank. Yep, I'm ready to I can pay 1.5K right now and 1K after I get paid for my job. I'm ready to join. Like, the leads are fucking hot because we have a pre-call process where we have a pre-call video. We have assets with student testimonials, and we have breakout videos, which are just FAQs handling common objections. And whenever they watch YouTube, watch a very properly structured VSL, which is what we did up here. We understood it to a T, understood the audience, and dialed it in. And they watch that VSL, they watch all of our other assets, they're going to be ready to pay. As you can see right here, these people are coming in hot because we're giving out all the sauce for free. We have good marketing. It's very simple. We don't even need the sales, although we are incorporating very good sales as well. But the next step for us to be like the free course funnel, basically, we're going to be hosting it probably on WAP, just because that's easier. That's where we process payments right now. Into a free course like TJR does, just because the content makes them want to join. If they get results from your free stuff, if I make $3,000 from your free stuff, I'm going to pay you $3,000 to teach me how to make that into 10, 20K. Because if this is free, imagine what I get if I paid him. It's my goal. I'm going to give you all the value for free on YouTube so you can take it, make money with it, and come back to me and pay me. And then we'll get them into the Discord as well, where we're going to optimize it for community building, FOMO, just optimizing everything to make more cash, right? So we're going to be hosting free calls. We're going to be showing a lot more social proof. We're going to be just hyping it up a lot, starting to grab contact information. All this stuff that's going to optimize for the mentorship. And it follows the 7-11-4 rule. These are why his leads are hot. 7 hours of engagement, 11 touch points, 4 platforms, right? So YouTube's one platform. We're going to get 7 hours through there. And then Discord is another platform, and Touchpoint. Every single time they get a ping, that's a Touchpoint, especially with the free course. That'll also be 7 hours. We're at 2 platforms, let's say 6 Touchpoints. Another platform in our actual funnel, our VSL, that's 3 platforms, 7 Touchpoints. And then they're probably going to get more from, the course. If they watch the course, that's a bunch of different touch points. And then the last platforms, whenever the sales team actually hits them up. Touch point, that's time spent. The platform, that's 4 different platforms. So that's why these leads are coming up warm. Super warm. Warm AF, bro. Like, we don't even need a call. They're just ready to pay. But I'm going to come down to the sales and how we're actually going to scale this up, because we can have all the good marketing in the world, but if we pair really good marketing with really good sales, we'll hit 100K a month easily. And I'm going for cash collected. But essentially, our current funnel was when someone would apply, we'd have a ping and name, a phone number, how much money they have, their struggle, their goal, experience, etc. We dial them up using this dialing script. It's very simple, right? If you guys want this script, you can just DM me on Instagram for it. I actually used this today to set an appointment myself because I was just kind of bored. But the whole goal of setting is just qualifying the lead financially, right? If they can't afford it, nothing you can do. Basically, you want to handle the reasons why they can't buy. They're not interested. They don't want it. They don't need it, or they can't afford it, right? The things that we can't really control. So we want to make sure that they are actually interested in doing this and they're financially qualified. And if they are, we're going to book them on a call. Right, but it just comes down to if they have money. So if they don't really have money, then it is what it is. But if they have money, we're going to get them onto a closing call, right, where we just go deep, dig into a lot of pain, and make them want to change, because they are where they are right now because they've been doing things that way, but they want to get somewhere else. That's why they booked the sales call, right? So all we have to do is just show them that the way that they're doing things right now is cooking them, and they need a change if they want to, actually see a change in their life, and really digging into pain. If you cause a lot of pain on the calls, it's going to work. Sales script we have, example one. Once again, if you want this, you can DM me on IG. I'm not going to do this as a sales masterclass. And then as you can see right here, we're tracking all of the commissions. So we have our commission, the closer commission, the setter commission, the creator, how much they're making, just tracking everything. And we don't even have any buy now, pay later options like Affirm, Payva, Split It yet. We're getting approved for those very soon. But once we do that, our cash collected will, probably double to, just because a lot of the people right now, they want to join, they don't have the money. So we'll probably double our cash collected, especially whenever we have a good sales system in place. I'm more of a marketing guy. I have my sales guy on that right now. But we'll easily hit 100K cash collected. Like, it's just inevitable, right? So sales is very easy. Whenever you have good marketing, good content, the leads just come in interested. You set them, you put them on calls, and you close them. It's very simple. So the next step here is like getting results. So what we did this time was we just coded a custom Discord bot, because why not? Why not make sure that they get a good onboarding experience? Because the first 24 hours to 48 are the most important for any sort of program. This is where it's like they confirm the buying decision or they want to charge back. And we've had chargebacks in the past because we had bad onboarding experience. So right away when they join through WAP, they join the Discord, they get this one-on-one Minty role, and what happens is right away they're going to get put in a private, they're going to get added to like the inner circle with a general chat, as well as a private chat with the creator. And then it's going to send something like this, like, welcome, fill out this onboarding form and book your one-on-one calls. And on this onboarding form, we are tracking them into our Airtable, but we're also figuring out what made them want to work with us specifically. Why did they do this? So we can use this more in our marketing. Because if we know why they're paying us thousands of dollars and like what made them want to take the jump, we can just do more stuff like that makes them want to do that. And then we're just going to make more money, right? And then right away they get to book their onboarding call. So right here, we only have 4 days that they can book just to give our client time to breathe, because he also runs a business too. He's not just an info guru. So it just gives them a good amount of time. On top of this, like I said, Airtable tracking, where we just track all of the members and everything, making sure that they're all getting results, because if the product just fucking sucks, I don't want to sell it. I just don't want to sell it, because we're not going to get results. It's just going to be bad. But we're getting some pretty crazy results right off the bat. 12 days in, 17K subs. This guy, 500,000 views. So you get the point, right? We're actually getting really good results because we just streamlined the onboarding process, systemize it to the point where it's pretty hands off for him. And then we just look at all the Minty calls that we're getting right now. We're going to make course content on that to further systemize everything and just take it off of his plate. Because the highest leverage thing for an offer owner, like a creator, for a coach that we work with, is to make content and coach leads. If we can systemize that so that way they can put out more content and coach the leads better, it's going to be better for us. And then the last step here is just scaling. So right away with the metrics, we're going to really just try to optimize the show rate and really just optimize the applications, right? Get more booked calls for how many applications are coming in. That's going to be the key metric we're going to focus on, as well as bringing in sales reps because we didn't have any sales reps on this offer yet. And then the funnel itself is also going to help us scale with that free course funnel. I already know it's going to cook for us because we're getting anywhere from 20 to 50 Discord joins a day. So if all those people join, we'll probably get more joins or the same, but we'll have their contact information. They'll watch a free course, get inside of our free community, get enveloped in our ecosystem. It's going to help us easily hit that 7-11-4 rule. And finally, it's just going to be the content. So it's going to be putting out more and better content specifically on YouTube here. And that's going to help us scale. And that's how we hit $51,200 in 11 days from partnering with this client. Not a launch, not pre-launch for 2 months. No, we received the payment and contracts day 0, 11 days later, $51,000 in revenue. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.